liberty, and justice for all. If we please remain standing for a moment of silence for an American patriot, an American war hero, and a great president, George Herbert Walker Bush. May he rest in peace, and may perpetual light shine upon his soul. Thank you. You can have a seat. Welcome to the Village of Suffern Annual Reorganizational Meeting, December 3rd, 2018, at 7 p.m. At this time, I would like to bring up Trustee-elect Steve Alpert and have the oath administered to Trustee Alpert. Paul Girard, if you may come up to the judge. Would you like to bring anyone up with you? Magrino. Rob, you need to sign. Yep. Mr. Vincent Altieri, Associate Village Justice. Thank you. Well, thank you very much. I congratulate Trustee Steve Alpert and Trustee Paul Girard, and I look forward to a great relationship here, working with you on the board and in the village. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
At this time at the reorg meeting, I'd like to just make a few recognitions here. We have former Mayor Dagan LaCourte in the audience with us this evening. Former Mayor Jim Giannatino. Former Trustees Jack Meehan. Joe Corrigan. Bruce Simon, as always. We also have with us the Democratic Party Chair, Kristen Stavinsky. Former Ramapo Councilman Patrick Withers. We also have the Republican Town Chair here, Magrino Fontana. And I welcome everyone. Thank you for coming. Okay, so I have a resolution number 252 in front of me. That would be designation of meetings. Resolved that the Board of Trustees shall hold their monthly meetings at 7 p.m. on the first Monday of each month. And be it further resolved, the Board of Trustees shall hold their workshop meeting at 7 p.m. on the last Tuesday of each month. Do I have a motion? Motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Next resolution, number 253, designating the official depositories of the Village of Suffern. Whereas the New York State General Municipal Law, Section 39, requires that the Village Board adopt a resolution designating the official depositories for the Village of Suffern. Therefore, be it resolved, J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, Key Bank, Sterling National Bank, and TD Bank are designated as the official depositories of the Village of Suffern. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Do I have any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Next resolution, number 254, designation of the official newspaper of the Village of Suffern. Resolve the official newspaper for the Village of Suffern is the Rockland Journal News. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Next resolution, number 255, designated posting of public notices. Resolved that pursuant to Public Officers Law, Section 104, the place designated for posting of Village of Suffern public notices shall be the Suffern Village Hall Bulletin Board located at 61 Washington Avenue. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye, motion passes. Next resolution, number 256, designated locations for posting of legal notices. Resolved, the designated places for posting legal notices in the village of Suffern shall be as follows: Suffern Village Hall Bulletin Board, Suffern Police Department, Suffern Post Office, Suffern Free Library, Community Center, and the Leo Leiden Building. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Next resolution, 257, holiday schedule for the Village of Suffern. Resolved that the Village of Suffern shall recognize and shall be closed for business on the following holidays: New Year's Day, Martin Luther King Day, President's Day, Memorial Day, Independence Day, Labor Day, Columbus Day, Veterans Day, Thanksgiving Day, the day after Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, and Christmas Day. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Next resolution, number 258, reimbursement of expenses for authorized travel. Whereas Section 77 of General Municipal Law authorizes the Village of Suffern to pay for the actual and necessary expenses of travel, meals, lodging, registration fees, and tuition fees incurred by officers and employees while attending conferences and other official business. And whereas the Office of the New York State Comptroller has a guide entitled Travel and Conference Expense Management, published June 2012 to assist the village in establishing payment and reimbursement guidelines for such expenses. Whereas the village may establish per diem rates for meals in lieu of requiring actual receipts not to exceed the per diem rates provided for by the United States General Services Administration. Now therefore be it resolved that the Village of Suffern will pay for the actual and necessary expenses for lodging, registration, and tuition fees incurred by officers and employees as authorized by the village board and evidenced by written receipts, and be it further resolved that the Village of Suffern will reimburse officers and employees for actual and necessary mileage at the IRS standard mileage rate in effect at the time of travel, plus parking and tolls for the use of their personal vehicle for official business, and be it further resolved that the Village of Suffern will reimburse officers and employees for actual and necessary cost of meals while traveling on official business, not already included as part of the registration or other fees, either as evidenced by written receipts or in lieu of such written receipts at the per diem meal rates established by the GSA in effect at the time of location and travel. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Okay. Next appointment, I hereby appoint Deputy Mayor Frank Hagen to another term as Deputy Mayor for 1 year. Resolved, the Mayor, Edward Markunas, does hereby appoint Frank Hagen to the office of Deputy Mayor for a 1-year term to expire at noon on December 2nd, 2019. Be it further resolved that this decision is the purview of the Mayor and does not require Village of Suffern Board approval for passage. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Congratulations, Deputy Mayor Frank Hagen.
Thank you, Mayor Markunas.
Next, I have a resolution appointing Amy Paffenroth as village clerk to fill the unexpired term of Virginia Menschner through December 2nd, 2019. Whereas the mayor and the village board hereby appoints Amy Paffenroth effective December 3rd, 2018, a village clerk through noon on December 2nd, 2019, filling the unexpired term of Virginia Menschner at the annual salary of $74,000. And whereas Ms. Paffenroth will also retain her title as Deputy Treasurer through noon on December 2nd, 2019. And whereas the board recognizes that the position of village clerk is of a nature typically available to be called upon at any time and any day to perform duties on behalf of the village that may include activities that occur outside of Village of Suffern municipal building offices, and whereas if Miss Paffenroth should opt to take healthcare benefits, healthcare insurance, she will be required to contribute 18% of the cost of such policy, which shall be withheld and paid for through payroll withholdings. Whereas Miss Paffenroth shall receive all benefits afforded under the statute of the full-time employee in accordance with Rule Number 3, applicable of the employment standards and benefits of the Village of Suffern as revised March 16, 1998. Now therefore be it resolved, the Mayor, Board of Trustees hereby appoints Amy Paffenroth as village clerk. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Congratulations. Congratulations. Good job. Amy, you know, I'll tell you, I've been working with Amy here for close to 2 years now, and she has done a tremendous job in bringing this village forward, and I really do look forward to working with you. You're a true asset to this village. Thank you very much for all you've done. Next resolution, number 261, a resolution appointing Kathy Van Sickle as Deputy Village Clerk to fill the unexpired term of Amy Paffenroth through December 2nd, 2019. Whereas the Mayor and Village Board hereby appoint Kathy Van Sickle effective December 3rd, 2018 as Deputy Village Clerk to a one-year term of office through noon on December 2nd, 2019, to fill the unexpired term of Amy Paffenroth at an annual salary of $49,000. And whereas the board recognizes that the position of Deputy Village Clerk is a nature of typically available to be called upon at any time and any day to perform duties on behalf of the village that may include activities that occur outside of the Village of Suffern municipal building offices. Now therefore be it resolved that the Mayor and the Board of Trustees hereby appoints Kathy Van Sickle as Deputy Village Clerk. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Kathy is another asset here to the Village of Suffern. She will continue. She's an amazing woman. She will continue in her role and as the Deputy Village Clerk. Thank you, Kathy. Okay, next on the agenda will be the village attorney, and that will be handled in an executive session following this meeting.
Well, you're going to go to executive session with respect to a personnel issue on that, and then there'll be resolutions subsequent to that.
Yes, that's correct. Next resolution is resolution number 262, a resolution appointing the assistant village attorney for a one-year term of office. Resolved that Mayor Ed Markunas and the village board does hereby appoint Robert Magrino to the office of assistant village attorney for a one-year term to expire at noon on December 2nd, 2019, at a salary of $34,000. And be it further resolved, if Robert Magrino participates in the New York State retirement system, he shall be required annually to record or recertify work activities for a period of 3 consecutive months in accordance with Chapter 315.4, Section A, Record of Work Activities of the New York State Retirement System, regulations on reporting for elected or appointed officials.
I was going to ask you to add that, a similar section with respect to the nature outside, but we can add that.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye, motion passes. Congratulations, Rob.
Thank you.
Next resolution, 263, a resolution appointing the Associate Village Justice for a one-year term of office. Resolved that Mayor Edwin Markunas does hereby appoint Vincent Altieri to the office of Associate Village Justice for a one-year term to expire at noon on December 2nd, 2019, at a salary of $8,294. Be it further resolved, if Vincent Altieri participates in the New York State retirement system, he shall be required annually to record or recertify work activities for a period of 3 consecutive months in accordance with Chapter 315.4, Section A, Record of Work Activities of the New York State Retirement System Regulation. Regulations on reporting for elected or appointed officials. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Congratulations. Next, Resolution 264, resolution appointing the village tax collector for a one-year term of office. Resolved that Mayor Edwin Markunas does hereby appoint Joanne Chiaffi as village tax collector for a one-year term to expire at noon on December 2nd, 2019. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye, motion passes. Resolution 265, a resolution appointing the deputy village tax collector for a one-year term of office. Resolved that Mayor Edwin Markunas does hereby appoint Kathy Van Sickle as deputy village tax collector for a one-year term to expire on noon, December 2nd, 2019. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passed. Resolution 266, a resolution appointing the village historian for a one-year term of office. Resolved that Mayor Edwin Markunas does hereby appoint Craig Long as village historian for a one-year term to expire at noon on December 2nd, 2019. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Craig has been the historian for a long time now, and he does a great job at it. Thank you, Craig. Resolution 267, a resolution appointing the registrar for a one-year term of office. Resolved, Mayor Edwin Markunas does hereby appoint Lynn Bryant as registrar for a one-year term to expire at noon, December 2nd, 2019. I have a motion?
Motion.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye, motion passes. Resolution 268, a resolution appointing zoning board of appeals chairperson for a one-year term of office. Be resolved that Mayor Edwin Markunas does hereby appoint Barry Tesserman as the zoning board of appeals chairman for a one-year term to expire noon, December 2nd, 2019. Have a motion?
Motion.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Resolution 269, a resolution appointing zoning board of appeals member for a 5-year term of office. Resolved that Mayor Edwin Markunas does hereby appoint Patrick McKiernan as a zoning board of appeals member for a 5-year term to expire on noon, December 4th, 2023. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye, motion passes. Next, I have a resolution appointing zoning board of appeals ad hoc member for a one-year term of office. Resolved that Mayor Edwin Markunas does hereby appoint Carrie Adwar as a zoning board of appeals ad hoc member for a one-year term to expire at noon, December 2nd, 2019. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye, motion passed. Next, Resolution 271, a resolution appointing planning board chairman for a one-year term of office. Resolved that Mayor Edwin Markunas does hereby appoint James D'Anatino as a planning board chairman for a one-year term to expire on noon, December 2nd, 2019. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Congratulations. Jim's in the audience. Resolution 272, a resolution appointing planning board member for a 5-year term. Resolved, Mayor Ed Markunas does hereby appoint Andrew Dale as a planning board member for a 5-year term to expire at noon, December 4th, 2023. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Next, Resolution 273, a resolution appointing alternate planning board member for a 1-year term. Resolved that Mayor Edward Markunas does hereby appoint Tim McInerney as an alternate planning board member for a 1-year term to expire at noon on December 2nd, 2019. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye, motion passes. Resolution 274, a resolution appointing alternate planning board member for a 1-year term of office. Resolved that Mayor Edward Markunas does hereby appoint Hudson Van Sickle as an alternate planning board member for a 1-year term to expire at noon on December 2nd, 2019. Have a motion.
Motion.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Next, Resolution 275, a resolution appointing the Advisory Board on Culture and Recreation for a 1-year term of office. Resolved that Mayor Edward Markunas does hereby appoint Kathy Mills, Gina Bertolino, Nancy Christopher, Mary Guccione, Suzanne Joyce, Lynn Limbrick, Kevin Patwell, Denise Schultz, Darrell Schiller, Jody Schiller, Jonathan Theodore, Kathy Van Sickle as members of the Advisory Board on Culture and Recreation for a 1-year term to expire at noon on December 2nd, 2019. Have a motion.
Motion.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Resolution 276, a resolution appointing Sewer Rent Appeals Board Chairman for a 1-year term of office. Resolved that Mayor Edward Markunas does hereby appoint Bruce McClintock as the Sewer Rent Appeals Board Chairman for a 1-year term to expire at noon on December 2nd, 2019. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Congratulations, Bruce. Thank you. Resolution 277, a resolution appointing the Sewer Rent Appeals Board member for a 3-year term of office. Resolved that Mayor Edward Markunas does hereby appoint Louis Ciacci as a Sewer Rent Appeals Board member for a 3-year term to expire at noon on December 6th, 2021. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Next, Resolution 278, a resolution appointing Tree Advisory Chairman for a 1-year term. Resolved that Mayor Edward Markunas does hereby appoint Frederick J. Rella as Chairman of the Tree Advisory Board for a 1-year term to expire at noon on December 2nd, 2019. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Congratulations, Fred. Resolution 279, a resolution appointing Tree Advisory Board members for a 1-year term of office. Resolved, Mayor Edward Markunas does hereby appoint Sandy Stead, Sheila Foster, John Wicks, Frederick J. Rella, Kathleen Bolger, and Charles Zawicki as members of the Tree Advisory Board for a 1-year term to expire at noon on December 2nd, 2019. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Congratulations to the Tree Board. Who's here? Next, Resolution 280, a resolution appointing representatives to the Community Foundation for a 1-year term. Resolved that Mayor Edward Markunas does hereby appoint Frank Hagen and Paul Girard as representatives to the Community Foundation for a one-year term of office to expire at noon on December 2nd, 2019. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Congratulations. Next resolution, 281, a resolution appointing a representative to the Mawa River Committee for a one-year term of office. Resolved, Mayor Edward Markunas does hereby appoint Steve Alpert and Moira Hertzman as representatives to the Mawa River Committee for a one-year term of office to expire at noon on December 2nd, 2019. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Congratulations. Now we're going to an executive session. Okay, at this time, I'd like to adjourn and convene into an executive session. Motion to go into an executive session for personnel reasons.
Motion.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We will return and be taking an action on this executive session. Okay. Motion to enter into the reorg meeting.
Motion.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, next resolution I have is resolution number 282, accepting the resignation of Daniel N. Crashauer and approving the separation agreement between Daniel N. Crashauer and the village dated December 3rd, 2018. Whereas pursuant to a resolution dated December 4th, 2017, Daniel N. Crashauer was appointed as village attorney for the village of Suffern for a period of 1 year, which term expires on December 3rd, 2018. And whereas Daniel N. Crashauer has, pursuant to a proposed separation agreement with the village of Suffern, submitted his resignation as village attorney to the mayor and village clerk dated and effective as of December 3rd, 2018. And whereas the mayor has determined that it is in the best interest of the village to accept said resignation and enter into said separation agreement with Mr. Crashauer, which as a personnel matter, the provisions of which are remain confidential to the extent permitted by law. Now therefore be it resolved, the mayor and the board of trustees hereby accepts the resignation of Mr. Crashauer as village attorney effective December 3rd, 2018, and approves the separation agreement as between Mr. Crashauer and the village dated December 3rd, 2018. And be it further resolved that as a result of the resignation of Mr. Crashauer as village attorney, that the position of village attorney is hereby declared to be vacant, subject to further action by the mayor to appoint the village attorney in accordance with New York Village Law 401C and all applicable laws. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Do I have any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Yes, and at this time, I also like to thank Mr. Crashauer for his dedicated service over the last few years. Thank you. Next resolution I have is resolution number 283, confirming Robert Magrino as acting village attorney effective December 3rd, 2018, until such time as an appointment of a village attorney shall be made pursuant to New York Village Law 401C and applicable law. Resolved that as the position of village attorney is currently vacant, Robert Magrino shall be considered the acting village attorney until such time as an appointment of the village attorney by the mayor and board of trustees shall be made pursuant to New York Village Law 401C and applicable law. Be it further resolved that Mr. Magrino shall receive a stipend of $615 per bi-weekly pay as acting village attorney until such time as an appointment of a village attorney by the mayor and board of trustees shall be made. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Let's see, I think that's it. Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn from the organizational meeting?
Motion.
Do I have a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. We're going to take like a 5-minute break, and then we'll reconvene to our regular monthly meeting.